My name is Emma Carter. I'm 33 years old, and the last person my family expected to see sitting at the head of the company table was me. But 3 months earlier, I was still the person they laughed at. It happened during my father's retirement dinner. The entire family was there. My parents, my older brother Jason, his wife, even my cousins who only appeared during celebrations. Everyone was dressed perfectly. Everyone was talking about success. Except me. I sat quietly at the end of the table. Because I already knew what was coming. My father lifted his glass. To Jason. Everyone smiled. 20 years old when he started his first business. $30 million in revenue today. Everyone clapped. Then my mother looked at me. And Emma. She paused. The kind of pause people use when they want everyone to notice. Still working that little online business? A few people laughed. I smiled. Yes. Jason leaned back. Come on, Emma. You can't seriously compare that to a real company. The table laughed again. I looked down at my plate. Not because I was embarrassed. It was because I was trying not to laugh. They still didn't know. 5 years earlier, I worked in a small office with 2 employees. No fancy building, no expensive cars, no impressive title. Just a laptop, a notebook, and an idea. My company developed software that helped small businesses manage inventory. Nobody thought it would become anything, including my family. When Jason launched his company, my father invested immediately, $500,000. When I asked for advice, my father said, maybe get a stable job first. That sentence stayed with me, not because it hurt, because it motivated me. I stopped asking for approval. I started building, quietly. Chapter 3. The company nobody noticed. For 3 years, I worked. Every morning before sunrise, every night after midnight, I learned everything. Technology, finance, marketing, negotiation. While Jason was posting pictures from expensive vacations, I was fixing customer problems. While he was celebrating investors, I was building relationships. Slowly, customers started coming, then bigger customers, then corporations. The company that everyone ignored started growing. But I never told my family. Why? Because I wanted one thing: to know if they would respect me without knowing my success. 2 weeks after that dinner, I received a phone call. Emma, we need your final approval. I looked at the documents. The acquisition agreement. The company being purchased. Jason's company. I read the name again and smiled. For months, my team had been analyzing his company. The numbers were not what everyone believed. The growth was fake. The expenses were out of control. The debt was hidden. But the brand was valuable. So we made an offer, and the board accepted. I was not buying my brother's company because I hated him. I was buying it because it was the right business decision. That was the difference between us. The next Monday, Jason walked into the conference room. He looked confident, like always. Executives stood up. Then he saw me. His smile disappeared. What are you doing here? I placed the acquisition papers on the table. I'm here for the transition meeting. He laughed. You? You're the buyer? Nobody laughed, because everyone in that room already knew. The CEO of the acquiring company was sitting across from him. Jason looked at the papers, then at me. No, this can't be real. I calmly answered, it became real when you stopped paying attention. The room was silent. Jason looked angry. "You never told us." I nodded. "No, because every time I told you what I was building, you told me it wasn't serious." My father wasn't there. My mother wasn't there. Only the people who mattered. The employees, the investors, the executives. The people who judged results, not appearances. A week later, my family invited me to dinner. The same restaurant, the same table, but everything felt different. My father looked uncomfortable. "Emma, we didn't know." I smiled. "I know." My mother reached for my hand. "We are proud of you." I looked at her, and for the first time, I believed she meant it. But I also understood something. Their approval was never the thing I needed. I had already built a life I was proud of. People often think success is something you prove to others. It isn't. The strongest victories are the ones you build quietly, the ones nobody sees, the ones nobody believes in, until one day they have no choice but to recognize them. Because sometimes the person everyone overlooks is the person who was building something extraordinary all along.